The San Andreas Fault is one of the best-known geological faults in the world because it is located near many major U.S. cities and has been the epicenter of significant earthquakes throughout history. Today, thanks to technological advances in the study of earthquakes and the research of geologists and geophysicists, we know that this geological fault will be the cause of an immense earthquake in the coming years. This event, known as the Big One, will take place in the San Andreas Fault and could be one of the most devastating earthquakes in history. But when this vast earthquake occurs, which cities will it mainly affect? Will it affect your city? How do we know which cities are safe? Stay with us to find out. In a previous video, we explained that thanks to the studies that have been done on the San Andreas Fault, based on the observed recurrence interval and the time since the last large earthquakes, some experts suggest that there is a high probability that a large earthquake will occur on the southern segment of the San Andreas Fault at any time within the next 30 to 50 years, in some intermediate zone between the Salton Sea and the Los Angeles area. This means that all cities within that limit will be most at risk during the next major earthquake. According to this analysis, here are the 10 cities with the highest risks, starting with the least populated cities. Number 10. Palm Springs. Located just 10 miles or 16 kilometers from the San Andreas Fault, the Big One would devastate Palm Springs. Palm Springs has been hit by several significant earthquakes in the past, such as the 1948 6.0 magnitude quake and another 1986 5.6 magnitude quake, which caused moderate damage but were not devastating. However, an earthquake of the Big One caliber could destroy thousands of structures, especially those that do not comply with updated seismic building codes. The city's most vulnerable areas are in the city center and areas near unstable terrain. In contrast, flat areas farther from the fault, such as the suburbs, could be slightly safer as landslides or falling debris are less likely to occur. Palm Springs has more than 500,000 inhabitants, approximately 504,000, so many could suffer the effects of the Big One. According to seismologist Dr. Thomas Jordan of the Southern California Earthquake Center, Palm Springs will likely experience severe damage if preventative measures are not taken. The models indicate that if this city received an earthquake of magnitude 8.0 on the Richter scale, most of its structures would not withstand it, and many lives could be lost. Number 9. Indio. Indio, located in the Coachella Valley and less than 18 miles or 30 kilometers from the San Andreas Fault, is prone to severe damage from the Big One. This earthquake, with an estimated magnitude between 7.8 and 8.2, could devastate much of the city's infrastructure due to its proximity to the fault and the sandy composition of the soil, which would amplify seismic waves, according to studies by the Southern California Earthquake Center. Historically, the city of Indio has been affected by smaller magnitude earthquakes, such as the 1986 5.6 magnitude earthquake, which caused minor structural damage. However, the Big One could destroy many of its most important buildings, such as the Indio Performing Arts Center, one of the city's most important cultural spaces. Indio is home to approximately 90,000 people, and it is estimated that an earthquake of this magnitude could claim hundreds or thousands of lives, depending on the city's level of preparedness for this event. Number 8. Victorville. Victorville, located in the high desert of San Bernardino County and near several active faults, will be one of the cities to suffer the ravages of the Big One. Although it is not directly on the San Andreas Fault, it is located 22 miles or 35 kilometers from it. Due to its proximity to this and other active faults such as San Jacinto, it is a vulnerable city. An earthquake of magnitude 7.8 or greater could cause severe structural damage, especially to older buildings that do not meet modern seismic building codes. Historically, Victorville has not been the epicenter of recent major earthquakes. Still, it has felt the effects of nearby earthquakes, such as the 1992 Landers earthquake, which had a magnitude of 7.3 and caused minor damage to the city. However, an event like the big one would be significantly more devastating. With a population of around 135,000, projections indicate that hundreds of people could lose their lives in an earthquake of this magnitude, mainly if it occurs during the city's daily activity hours, especially in crowded places. One is Victorville City Hall, a notable building with a central role in local administration. However, the most affected areas would likely be areas near the Mojave River and softer terrain, where the amplification of seismic waves would be more significant. The safest areas might be those located on higher ground and away from major groundwater routes. Dr. Lucy Jones, a renowned seismologist, has warned that cities like Victorville would face significant destruction from the big one due to their location and seismic vulnerability. Number 7. Corona. Corona, located in Riverside County and just 13 miles or 21 kilometers east of the San Andreas Fault, would be severely affected by the big one. With an estimated magnitude between 7.8 and 8.2, the earthquake could cause massive devastation due to the city's proximity to this active fault. Corona is particularly vulnerable because much of its infrastructure and housing were built before modern seismic codes were implemented. Corona has felt the effects of nearby earthquakes, such as the one in Northridge in 1994, magnitude 6.7, which, although it occurred at a considerable distance, caused structural damage in the city. So an earthquake like the big one would have a much more significant impact. With approximately 160,000 inhabitants, estimates suggest that this large earthquake could claim hundreds or even thousands of lives, especially in low-lying areas near the Santa Ana River. The ground could amplify seismic waves, causing huge waves to pull the river's water out of its course, overflowing it and causing flooding that would severely damage nearby buildings and roads. Hey, before moving on, be sure to like or dislike the video so that we can improve them for you, the viewer. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by making sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily videos. Number 6. Ontario. Ontario in San Bernardino County is 30 miles or 48 kilometers from the San Andreas Fault, making it one of the cities vulnerable to the big one. An earthquake of magnitude 7.8 or higher could cause massive devastation, affecting infrastructure, buildings, and essential services. Ontario's vulnerability is due to its proximity to several faults, including the San Jacinto Fault and the San Andreas Fault. Historically, Ontario has felt the effects of nearby earthquakes, such as the 1994 Northridge earthquake, magnitude 6.7. However, no earthquake has had the potential for devastation that the big one would have. According to estimates by the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, Ontario could suffer severe damage due to its dense population of approximately 180,000 people and its aging infrastructure. The most affected areas would likely be those near the I-10 freeway, a key thoroughfare for the city. Soft ground could amplify seismic waves, causing several bridges to collapse. Older buildings in central Ontario would be at greater risk of collapse, while areas further from faults in rocky and elevated terrain areas could experience less damage. Number 5. Moreno Valley. Moreno Valley, a city in Riverside County, is approximately 10 miles or 16 kilometers from the San Andreas Fault, which places it at high risk for a major earthquake like the big one. This earthquake, with an estimated magnitude between 7.8 and 8.2, could cause significant devastation in the city due to its proximity to the fault and its large population, which exceeds 210,000 inhabitants. Moreno Valley's vulnerability lies in its proximity to the fault and the unpreparedness of many of its older structures. Although the city has not experienced devastating earthquakes recently, it has felt the impact of nearby earthquakes, such as the Northridge earthquake 1994, magnitude 6.7. However, the big one could generate much more vigorous shaking, resulting in the collapse of buildings and bridges and even the destruction of several roads. The March Field Air Museum Corridor Monument in Moreno Valley near March Air Reserve Air Force Base is one of the city's most iconic landmarks. If the big one were to hit the city, this iconic place could suffer significant damage. The museum structure and the aircraft on display, especially older aircraft, could be affected by the strong shaking. Earthquakes tend to damage structures that aren't designed to withstand seismic movements, and while the museum likely follows up-to-date building codes, the intensity of the big one could cause partial collapses or detachments of structures. In addition, Highway 215, which runs near the museum and connects Moreno Valley to other cities, is critical infrastructure that could be severely damaged. Dr. Egil Hawkson, a seismology expert in the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, has addressed several aspects of earthquakes in the region, highlighting on several occasions that the Southern California region is at risk of experiencing a catastrophic earthquake in the coming years due to seismic activities in areas near Moreno Valley, such as the Central Peninsula and the Coachella Valley. Number 4. Fontana. Fontana, a city in San Bernardino County, California, faces a severe risk in the event of the big one. The city is located approximately 12 miles or 20 kilometers east of the San Andreas Fault, which places it in an area of high seismic vulnerability. Historically, Fontana has experienced significant tremors. In 1966, a magnitude 6.5 earthquake, known as the San Bernardino earthquake, struck the region, causing considerable damage. An event of greater magnitude, such as the big one, could cause massive devastation. The earthquake could claim thousands of lives due to the population of approximately 215,000 inhabitants and damage to essential infrastructure such as Fontana's monument, Fontana Park, which could suffer severe damage, affecting its structure and accessibility. Number 3. San Bernardino. San Bernardino, California could face significant devastation if the big one occurs. The city is located approximately 15 miles or 25 kilometers north of this geological fault, which places it in a high seismic risk zone. Due to its proximity to the San Andreas Fault, an earthquake of magnitude 7.8 or greater could have a catastrophic impact on San Bernardino. This city has experienced significant earthquakes in the past, such as the one in 1966, although it has never experienced an earthquake of the magnitude predicted for the big one. Considering that San Bernardino's current population is approximately 220,000, the loss of human life could be several hundred or thousand, and many landmark structures may not withstand the shaking of the quake. The San Bernardino County Courthouse, one of the city's most iconic buildings, could be seriously damaged. If its old structure has not been updated with modern seismic measures, it could collapse or be severely affected by shaking. Dr. Mark Benthian, director of the Earthquake Risk Reduction Program at the Southern California Earthquake Center, SCE, has highlighted the importance of earthquake preparedness in mitigating damage from a future event of this magnitude. Number 2. Riverside. Riverside, California could also suffer the damage of the big one. The city is located about 24.5 miles or 40 kilometers west of the fault, making it vulnerable to far-reaching seismic effects. Riverside has experienced significant earthquakes historically, such as the 1937 earthquake with a magnitude of 6.0, which damaged buildings and structures in the city. Although not as destructive as the big one, this event demonstrated the city's susceptibility to tremors. An earthquake of magnitude 7.8 or greater could endanger the population of approximately 335,000, with possible human losses. One of Riverside's most important landmarks is the Mission Inn, a historic hotel and cultural center. A large earthquake could cause severe damage to its structure, compromising its integrity and threatening its preservation. Dr. Jean-Philippe Avouac, a geologist at Caltech, has conducted research that supports information on Riverside's seismic vulnerability based on recent studies and seismic risk models. Number 1. Los Angeles. Finally, we have the city of Los Angeles at number 1. If the big one were to be produced, Los Angeles would face unprecedented devastation. This city is located just 21 miles or 35 kilometers west of the San Andreas Fault. Although it is not the closest city to the fault, it is the most populated city on this list. With a population of approximately 4 million people and huge skyscrapers, the city of Los Angeles could face a death toll of several thousand. Landmark structures such as the Staples Center, one of the main venues for events and sports, could be severely damaged or even collapse entirely. Structural collapses and damage to the city's infrastructure would also be significant. Dr. David Jackson, a professor of geology at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, has endorsed Los Angeles' seismic risk assessment based on earthquake prediction studies and models. The United States Geological Survey, USGS, reports provide additional information, emphasizing the importance of taking earthquake prevention measures to mitigate the damage that the city could suffer if the big one occurs in the coming years. These were the 10 cities most likely to be damaged by the big one. Do you live in any of them? What other city do you think should be on this list? Let us know what you think in the comments.